people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here, it's movie review time. And yes, this is one I did see the previous weekend, and my boy's potentially going to go see it a second time with my wife. So this is why the movie review is a little bit later than I expected it to be. But yet, this is the movie review for It Ends With Us. So this is the new Blake Lively kind of romantic comedy-esque movie from Colleen Hoover's book. Obviously, It Ends With Us is the first of two, and then It Starts With Us, I think, is the sequel, which we may get if this one does well enough. 2 hours and 10 minutes long, so not too bad in the grand scheme of things. And obviously the cast, it stars Blake Lively as the main character, Lily Bloom. You have Justin Baldini as Ryle, kind of the love interest for the majority of the movie. Jenny Slatt is Alyssa, who is Ryle's sister. Brandon Skennor, if I've got him as Atlas, kind of the I would say the alternate love interest. This movie is also directed by Justin Baldini, who plays Ryle, so that was very interesting to me. Anybody who doesn't know or hasn't seen the trailer, this is essentially, as I say, Lily and Ryle, their kind of meeting and their relationship. For the most part, obviously, you have the interaction of Ryle's sister, and then you have and throughout the movie, there are flashbacks to basically Lily as a child and her first love interest, Atlas. And then there are kind of complications as stuff goes on. That is kind of story in a nutshell. I will put the spoiler warning up. There will be quite a bit that is spoiled coming forward, even though I tried to keep stuff back, but it's going to be hard to explain. So the spoiler warning is up, and we shall get into it. So yeah, so I really did like this movie. This movie starts off with Lily. She goes back to her home to mum, and obviously her dad has died. You can tell there is a distance there. You don't quite know what is going on. She is tasked with giving a eulogy about her dad and cannot think of anything. This is kind of foreboding that there is something wrong, but you don't know. Lily kind of runs away from the whole situation, goes back to her life, and she's on top of this building contemplating life and everything to do with it. This is when she is introduced to the character of Ryle. He comes in, he's had a bad day, and then they kind of interact with each other. And this kind of creates a spark of what would be their relationship. Then as time goes on, they don't see each other after this because he's a neurosurgeon, and Lily is doing her own thing. Obviously, Lily goes off and does her own thing, and a lady comes by and she employs her, which conveniently is Ryle's sister. And this is where they then meet up, and then a relationship starts with them. Obviously, stuff proceeds through their relationship. Ups and downs as everyone has, but mostly positive as shown in this book. And then they go to this restaurant to meet Lily's mum, because obviously her dad has passed, so she comes to the city, meets up. Ryle comes with her, and during this meeting, when they're being served by the waiter, Lily realises that the waiter is Atlas, so it is kind of her love interest from when she was a child, and you get to see this how they met each other and how they got on, and he goes off to kind of drafted into the army, and then they kind of never see each other again, and this is then kind of him coming back after the army and doing stuff, and her being her own person. This then kind of creates a kind of love triangle, so to speak. She is with Ryle, she doesn't really do anything with Atlas, but due to another meeting, when they are there, when they go out with Ryle's sister and her fiance, this is where Lily unfortunately is sporting a bit of a black eye, unfortunately due to him cooking some dinner, and he's not very good. He burns his hand on it. As he burns his hand and puts his hand back, he unfortunately hits Lily in the face, and it causes black eye. This obviously sets Ryle off. Ryle comes from a very broken family, and obviously this triggers a few things for him. And this is where he kind of talks to her in the toilet thinking that she's being abused. She says she isn't. Then Ryle kind of comes along, goes, who the hell's this? Realises it's Atlas. And stuff, and then this whole unfolds, and basically Ryle's like, please, be with me, just don't have anything to do with him, which kind of how she goes across. Atlas does turn up at a flower shop a little while later and leaves a card within her phone if it does have issues. then kind of Atlas goes out the picture, and then it's just kind of the combination of Ryle and Lily's relationship, and then it gets to kind of leads to an ending. As I say, there are spoilers, but I'm trying to give away that it is shot very clever, and stuff, and obviously the story leaves it open at the end that there is more to it. It does involve Lily having a child. And that's as far as I'm going to go. Obviously, it's spoiler review, but I'm still, there's twists and turns that the film doesn't show to the end, or I haven't connected on, and you won't say. So what did I think of this movie? So I'm going to rate this movie 8 out of 10. So that is a really big rating for me. For me, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. To start off with, it's really hard to kind of know these characters, and it takes you a little while to warm to these characters, but there is a reason for this. There are twists and turns that you don't see and don't expect, done really well. The child actors and actresses work really well. The young version of Lily and the young version of Atlas are really, really good. For me, one of the things Wallace isn't a 10, and that is because of the actor who plays Atlas as a child and the actor who plays Atlas as an adult. They don't really look alike. Lily managed to do it quite well. Atlas, not so much. To the point of Atlas, the child, you see a lot more of him until you meet the adult version. And when I met the adult version, I was a bit like, you know, he seems like a nice guy and comes across that, but didn't kind of seem almost the child version of him. No, but maybe there's stuff missing, and that will be detailed in the second book if and when we get that. Ryle, brilliant acting, obviously directing as well as acting from Justin Baldini. Very, very clever of how he done stuff, and obviously having to take yourself out of the directing chair into an actor and vice versa. Very emotional points. Obviously the twists and turns and a few underlying messages that it has in here is very, very great. Now, I'll probably say it's going to be a super spoiler I'm going to talk about now. So if you've got to this point, and you know, I'm unfortunately going to ruin a lot of stuff. So the underlying this story, it is domestic abuse. You know, it's ruined. It is shown and very hidden, very carefully within the way it is directed, and I thought that was really, really good, and it kind of connects with the people who have suffered with this, and this is what the whole point. I think it relates to the fact that Lily's mum has gone through this, and Atlas is through that, you know, and there are obviously reasons. I thought was really clever, really, really done well, and hopefully opens up people's eyes to, you know, what does go on. For me, a few things that kind of, bring it down a little bit, and it just there is Lily, she isn't very forthcoming with a few things, like the tattoo and stuff like that. If she said, this is a tattoo, this is what I got from a symbol that Atlas had got me, I think that could have made it, and I'm not justifying what he did, but I'm saying when a partner is deliberately not telling you something, and maybe they're trying to hide their feelings, but then, you know, that person is then kind of in your scope now. Why would you not say that? The fact that Atlas gives him her card and puts it in her phone, it's going to be found out when at the end of the day, if she needed him, she could just go to his restaurant. There's a few little bits like that I thought were very silly. And if Lily had just been forthcoming and said, look, you know, he'd come up, he was worried, he saw her had a black eye, he thought you were hitting me, that's why he's given me his card, his number, but here it is. You know, or just burn it, told him about it and say, I burn it. And the friend, very, very convincing, very, very Jenny Slatt as Alyssa, very, very good. The whole, I think it would be a very testament of the character she is playing, the whole conversation she has with Lily when she finds out what her brother has been doing. And I think that was a really, really nice side of things for people who are in this situation to really, you know, yes, you're in a very bad and dark situation, and I understand it, but I'm related to the person, but these are my sides, and I thought she played that role really, really well. Even though it was quite a small role, and yeah, very thoroughly loved it. I don't believe there's anything after the credits or anything like that, but as I say, this is it ends with us, and then I think it starts with us is the second one. It starts with, you know, and it makes more sense because at the end of the movie you only get to see a bit of Atlas as an adult, and obviously that's leading on to the second film. Interesting to where this goes. Have you seen this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. But this has been my review of It Ends With Us. I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.